All right, welcome back to Fire to Fork. This week we are doing meat on fire. Yes, I know, it has been a little while and I'm sorry that I haven't done much fire cooking recently, but there's been a lot of other stuff going on and I wanted to include you in that. So next week will probably be a walkthrough of this thing. And if you don't like the non-cooking episodes, that's totally fine. Don't click on them. But there's some stuff that I like. If you actually look at the numbers and everything, the non-cooking episodes do better than the cooking episodes because they're only for significant things. They're not just for random tips videos. They are for bigger items, and most people, more people like them than that actually just like a traditional cooking video. So yes, I understand it annoys some people, but I'm gonna keep doing them. Anyway, tocino, which is the Spanish word for bacon, and it's a Filipino dish. I don't know how this works entirely. All I know is it looks bloody delicious. So, start off with rice. Actually, to start off with, what I did at home was I combined, well, I'm just gonna put the ingredients up on the screen. I combined all of those ingredients with a pork fillet. Now, pork fillet is not what you have to use. You could use some pork butt, you could use some pork, all kinds of things. There are preferably a cheaper cut, but if you want to use pork belly, you absolutely can. It's quite a forgiving process, and the reason it's forgiving is because of the pineapple juice. The pineapple juice is an amazing meat tenderizer. So that's what's going to really create all the difference in this. So yeah, if you ever want to tenderize any meat, even if it's a steak, whatever, leave it in pineapple juice, and the fresher the better. So like an unsweetened, just literally chunks of pineapple and blended is phenomenal. Yeah, just blend a pineapple. Okay, I'm just washing some rice here. This is just normal jasmine rice. And yes, I have new fancy containers because I'm a fancy boy now that I have a new setup and I have a permanent proper pantry. It's quite crazy how much nicer it is to cook out of. We're camping, I'm just going to wash it once. You know, conserve water. I've only got 300 litres for me for one night. And who knows, I might want to have a half an hour shower. Next, I'm just going to get my bits and pieces ready because I think they are going to honestly probably take more time than the prep of this because I did that at home. So you want to leave that for between 12 hours and 3 days. Oh, haven't got my knives. And you can put that in a Ziploc, you can put it in a cryovac bag, you can put it in whatever you want really. I just went for a container because it was close and because you can wash them afterwards. Wow, that is not sharp. That really sucks. I haven't sharpened that in I don't know how long, but I'm going to quickly do it now. Oh yeah, that feels terrible. Oh, because I'm doing it backwards. That feels much better. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 7, 8. That's for a really blunt one. How's that feel now? Oh yeah, like a new knife. That was not staged, that was a blunt knife. If you saw me try and cut through the plastic, you'll see what I mean. That's a little Osprey sharpener, that same brand as the knives, and they're not expensive and bloody good. Bit of pretty manky looking spring onion. If I wanted to rejuvenate that, you can soak it in water, but it's honestly fine as it is. The spring onion is absolutely not essential, it's just to add a bit of colour, and because I had a manky one in the fridge, so may as well use it. And lastly, an egg. Usually I just bring them in the packet, but I only brought a couple this trip, so in some paper towel, which means I need to fry an egg on something. Actually, if I'm going to fry an egg for an Asian dish, I should use a wok. Mainly because woks fry single eggs the best, in my opinion, for this type of frying, which is a very fast fry. I'm just going to chuck some oil in there now. If it was a stainless pan, I would chuck it in later, but it's not. Okay, all of our ducks are in a row. Now, traditionally this is cooked in a pan at sort of medium-ish heat, but I'm not going to do that because I want to get a bit of the taste of the fire in there. And this is a Filipino bacon and eggs. This is a breakfast food. So, may not look like it, and I would certainly eat it for dinner, but I'm eating it for lunch. And it sounds like an excellent breakfast to me. Okay, now, Osbrae out. This is the camp braai, which is absolutely not the right one to be doing this with if you have two, but it will work perfectly well. If you have the little travel braai, that's going to be a better size for something this small. I can feel how tender this is. Basically, the acid in the pineapple juice is going to slightly cook this, or has slightly cooked this. You want a bit of space between them so that the flames can lick all the way around and get cook the sides as well. And always slice this against the grain. So if you're going to fillet like me, you cut it like a sausage kind of thing. Cut it the same way I cut the cucumber, that direction. And the reason I got fillet was because it was on special, really cheap. So see, I've just loaded it on one side. That is, that is so that I can have it half hanging off. Perfect. So as I said, you can definitely just do this on a pan, but I like to get a bit of flame on it. Gives it a better flavour. Give that a stir. This is how you make sure your rice doesn't stick. Just at the end, you're going to fluff it up and quick stir and you're all good. Now with these, there's a lip here. Which means that one side is going to cook slightly quicker than the other. So just take that into account when you're doing it. Don't do it like 3 minutes on each side. You do it medium-high heat for, until it looks browned on both sides, not based on time. All right, that looks good. Okay, that is starting to brown up a little bit. It's looking good. Pretty close to being able to do our egg. Oh, I wish I brought a charcoal bowl. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Fred's water bowl is one of these. Put in charcoal. I could wash that. Nah, I'll leave it to Fred. I always like to have bowls that have a different colour to the food. That's right, no, I'll cover the top of this in meat and it'll look good. We're good. Yeah, so if you're buying bowls, these are bare bones ones. If you're buying them, feel free to mix up the colours. Don't just buy one colour. Buy two colours so that it can match it to different foods. It'll look extra fancy all the time, doesn't cost you any extra. Only come in 2 packs. All right, I think we're good. Ugh, stepped in some very soft mud there. Ugh. Teach me to not wear shoes. Now traditionally this is dyed bright red, which is doesn't look very natural. Not that I'm after some sort of a hippie look, but I just don't see the need to bring red food colouring to the bush to make it look like that. Very happy to eat meat that's the colour of meat. I think the red food colouring would actually put me off. Now we'll get rid of this because we want maximum heat in this wok. And woks are very forgiving. You can put them on most things. It doesn't matter if they're not completely straight. We'll wait for that wok to get hot, because that egg will take about 2 seconds. Bowl of rice. I finally burnt the clip off this pot after like 4.5 years. So that's why it looks like it does. Roughly pat that down so it's kind of levelish. I suck at this. I'm so imprecise. Well, that actually looks pretty good. Yep, oil's smoking, so egg time. Crack it on a flat surface. That's what you want. All right, crispy on the bottom, fluffy on the top, soft yolk. We're on. Try and move that away a bit so you can see the yolk. Yes, that is actually deserving of gratuitous B-roll. Let's do it. Alrighty. Bloody good breakfast. The eggs. That needs some chili. No doubt you probably use some sort of a sambal or whatever the Filipino equivalent is, but I'm going to use sriracha. It's quite sweet. It's incredibly tender. So, add a bit of that salty chili sauce. That's delicious. That is really delicious. It's got a real breakfast feel to it. I thought it would be like, okay, in a lot of Asian cultures, breakfast is last night's dinner with an egg on it. And I thought that's what this might be, but it's not. It's got a real breakfasty feel. It feels fruity. That's excellent. That would leave you feeling full, but kind of fresh and not sort of laden and full. That with sambal would be amazing. Now, what's it like with a breakfast beer? Oh, don't worry, it's like, what is it? 10 to 2 in the afternoon. It's all right. It's too fruity. Not the beer. The beer's lovely. Bit too fruity for a beer. Coffee. I could totally see it with coffee. Sweet Vietnamese coffee with condensed milk in it. And this, that's what it needs. That's the perfect drink combo. Well, I'm stoked with that. And thank you for sticking with me as I do some random little off-side projects that entertain me. And don't worry, there's plenty more cooking to come.